can turn the world on with a smile. You can take a nothing day and suddenly make it all seem worthwhile. Well, it's your girl and you should know it. With each glance and every little movement you show it. Love is all around, don't need to fake it. You can never down, why don't you take it? You're gonna make it after all.
Hi everyone, welcome to the show. Today is December 20th and Marc has 565 days left to go in his U.S. prison sentence, or maybe none if tomorrow's the end of the world and nobody's here. But I don't believe that. I believe, if anything, it's going to be the beginning of a new season and a new year ahead and a lot of new exciting stuff coming up. So we here at Cannabis Culture and me and Marc want to wish everybody out there a very Merry Christmas and a happy New Year, and we hope that you get to spend it with your friends and loved ones. I got to go visit Marc, so we had our Christmas visit, and in the visiting room they had a set with a fake fireplace and a Christmas tree set up, so we got some photos together, and I'm not going to get those pictures for a couple weeks, but Marc took pictures of himself alone. The inmates are allowed to get photos taken themselves in the back area of the prison with this same set. So I received 2 pictures via email from a supporter and friend, Tony Glickney. He scanned them for me because Marc sent them to him to get them in time for Christmas. So check them out at Facebook on Marc's profiles, but you can also see them here. And of course, he's got a big smile as always, and people are pleased to see he's holding up well as he can. Now we got to visit, and I got these 2 other photos of Marc with his friend and guitar teacher and bandmate Terry. So those came in the mail. Marc and I did get our Christmas visit, but we're not going to see each other for a month now. And in between now and then is going to be New Year's and Christmas and my birthday. And so we're going to be apart from each other for a bit, and it's going to be tough for us. But Marc has been receiving an increase in mail from supporters and really sweet, loving messages through the holidays, and that's helping him out a lot, which helps me too, because of course it is very difficult to get through the holidays without your incarcerated loved ones, and there's so many people out there who are going through the same thing or who have lost loved ones in other ways of the drug war, and we of course express how hard that is. I try and stay strong, but I know that a lot of people out there have it a lot worse than we do, and I feel so badly for everybody out there suffering. So I'm committed to ending this drug war so we don't have any more Christmases with families torn apart. And when Marc comes home, hopefully right before next Christmas, if he gets transferred, we will commit ourselves fully to doing all that. Now, Marc has a new blog up. While I was visiting him and I left the prison, and somebody sent me a message in my email, and Michael Coren, who is a host of Sun TV, he's Fox News North style, type of reporter, he had me on his show 3 times in the last year, and the third one was really controversial, and he was really quite outrageous and pretty tough on me, I guess you'd say, but he got some bad feedback for his poor performance, and he blamed me and Marc for that negative feedback from strangers we don't know, and he wrote a terrible hit piece attacking not just me and Marc, but the entire marijuana legalization movement, and it was horrible. I read it and I was so furious because it was so full of lies and spin and insults and it was just Fox News style, infuriating type stuff. So a lot of people got angry about that, and I sent it to Marc, and he wrote a blog in response to it. And this is one of Marc's best writings. He's done a lot of fantastic work, but he feels very proud about this. And when I read it, it's a very uncomfortable, controversial type topic. And of course, when I first get that from him and read it, I go, oh, people are going to be so uncomfortable about this, and I'm going to have to be there to defend him. But I will defend him because what he says is true. The truth sometimes hurts. It's not always pleasant to hear, but these are all honest facts he presents, and you should check out that blog. It's at cannabisculture.com, freemark.ca, and in it you'll find the video interview and the article that prompted this whole big to-do. But let him know how you feel. Let Marc know what you thought about that article and his blog, and send him a message if you like. The address, as always, is at freemark.ca. Now, I said last time that I was going to do a Christmas giveaway big prize pack, and I decided to put something together for you guys. So I'm not going to do a draw of any names today, but I'm going to show you what the prize will be with next week's show when you'll get the Christmas fun box. But I want to give people a chance to enter and win all this stuff. So the first part is going to be Stoner Trivia. This is a fun game you can play with your friends, and I believe there are some questions in there that actually have info about Marc. So that's a great game from Cannabis Culture Headquarters store, and a very popular, famous movie, The Union, The Business Behind Getting High. This has changed a lot of minds. It's a fantastic movie, and of course Marc and Greg and Michelle and their story is featured in it, and that's definitely worth watching. So that's going to go out in your prize pack too, along with a pop puzzle fun book, which was published here by Dana Larson, an incredible activist leading the Sensible BC campaign to decriminalize marijuana in BC. And that was written some years ago, but it's still fun and relevant for when you need something to do after having a couple tokes. And this is a Cannabis Culture magazine back issue. It's from December 1998, and that is Marc Emery, the Prince of Pot himself, as Santa Claus. So I thought it would be a fitting little bonus to throw in there with the prize pack. There's another picture of Marc too, dressed up as Santa Claus. I'm not sure if I'll find it or not, but this is a good collector's edition. We've got lots of back issues for only $2 each, and we're selling them till they're gone. We've got a lot of issues that are not possible to get anymore, sold out completely, but we have a lot still available, so check out our store in cannabisculture.com. And as always with the prize pack, free Marc t-shirt, we'll be throwing that in there as well with a free Marc lighter leash. Now these are fantastic. You can clip them to your purse or your jeans or whatever, and nobody's gonna walk off with your lighter. And it says Free Marc Emery on it, so keeping the message out there too. And as always, we'll get the pin in there and the stickers. There's 4 different types of Free Marc stickers, so you can spread the word and show it off. And if you do have any Free Marc stuff, tag yourself on Facebook or Instagram and let us see the support that you're showing, because it makes us so happy to see the message out there that we're fighting to free Marc Emery and free all the drug war prisoners and end prohibition and have everybody home with their families for every Christmas holiday season from here on out. And the momentum is really picking up, guys. If you haven't seen the news on cannabisculture.com, there are a number of states also getting ready to legalize marijuana, and they don't mean a couple years from now. They mean let's do it tomorrow. Let's start working on the legislation. This has not been happening ever in our history. We've never seen police budgets being cut and hiring practices being changed. And so there is a lot of momentum out there, and we're not going to get to a perfect end goal. I mean, everybody has a place they'd love to see legalization get to. But even when we get there, people will always be trying to change it for the better or the worse. We're always going to have enemies. The prohibitionist side is never going to give up. There is always going to be a fight. So let's put aside any differences about how to get to some dreamland end goal, and let's just work for anything better, anyway, anyhow, right now. Let's get people out of prison. Let's reduce the penalties. Let's reduce the arrests. Let's increase medical marijuana access. Let's do whatever we can to make everything better for all of us, because we are being persecuted. There is a war, and they will fight back. The enemy will not stop. We're still going to have a lot of bad stuff happen in the next couple of years despite all the good, and it's always going to be a balance of good and evil. So let's just keep fighting for the good and not get sidetracked by any silly differences. So I want to send a message out there to everyone of being united and sharing in our passion and the movement that we're all heading towards, which is peace and love and tolerance, and hopefully no more war, because once we end prohibition, then we'll get everybody out of prison for nonviolent crimes, and then we'll get rid of all the bad government, and we'll keep working to make everything better, because what's the point of life if it's not to try and make the world a better place? I don't know, but that's what I'm trying to do, and Marc is too. So thank you to all of you for your support and watching, and we'll see you next week when you enter for the good prize pack here. And you do that by sending an email to Jodie@cannabisculture.com and send Marc a message or a holiday card if you can. His address is at freemarc.ca as always. And read his blog. You really want to hear that one. You really want to know what he has to say, so you know how to repeat the same important message yourself to anybody out there trying to squash your message. So thanks a lot for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week. Happy holidays and a Merry New Year. Marijuana New Year, obviously. All right, peace, everyone.